Chapter 28. On the other side, Rimuru was brought to the table. Misery. Here you are, sir. Rimuru. Thanks. Rimuru sat down quite casually. Seal and Shizu stood at his side. Rimuru looked across from him and naturally saw Guy Crimson. Shizu. I recall Leon speaking of Guy Crimson, but I was never able to meet him face to face. Rimuru. Count yourself lucky for that. Ramirez began to speak to Guy. The conversation didn't interest Rimuru, so he mostly ignored it. Soon Dagruel arrived. He walked past Rimuru, but he could tell that he spared a glance at him, likely also intrigued by his strength, but Rimuru ignored the attention. Rimuru. I can never get over how much smaller everything seems now. After him came Luminous, Roy, and Gunther. Luminous was dressed as a maid while Roy seemed to lead. But Rimuru knew better than to trust simple appearances. He reserved a wink and smirk for Luminous. Though agitated, she ignored it to keep up appearances. Seal. Master, would there be something about your interaction with Luminous you've hesitated to tell us? Rimuru could feel the cold stares of Shizu and Seal. He avoided eye contact as he answered. Rimuru. Number. Next Dino arrived with a yawn. Dino. Oh hey, wow, you actually grew a bit. Guess anything's possible. Ramirez. You trying to pick a fight? You certainly showed up with a lot of nerve. Dino. Dino. Don't be ridiculous. Why would I wanna pick a fight that I would win super easily? Ramirez. What, you got a death wish? I could take you down with just one punch, buddy. Dino. You may have grown, but your delusions are the same. Keep on wishing. Ramirez. Why I oughta. Dino. Whoa, what's a loser like you doing with attendance? Now I look lame for coming alone. Ramirez. Oh, you know this is my way of getting back at anyone who calls me a puny or a loser, or both of those things, which would be you. Rimuru. Even with that boost, without the time to grow with it, her maturity is still the same. I wonder if I made a mistake. Soon Frey and her attendants arrived. Seal. Look, master, someone accompanying Frey with relatively high magicals. I'm sure he's no one of importance. Rimuru. You're never gonna let me forget that, are you? Seal. Forget what? Your judgment is clearly always sound. Rimuru. I'm sorry for cutting you off without hearing you out, and I won't do it again. How many times do I need to say that? Seal. Until it loses satisfaction. Rimuru. So never, I assume. Shizu chuckled at the antics between them. Leon. So you are Rimuru. Rimuru turned around to face Leon as he stood behind him. Rimuru. That's correct, I assume you must be Leon. Is there something you need from me? Leon. Not from you specifically. He reserved a glance to Shizu, who gave him a serious look in response. Leon. When I heard you decided to live with him, I assumed you finally accepted Ifrit, but it's clear that you've chosen a different path to power, one that I'm familiar with. Shizu. I hope you're not disappointed. Leon. Not at all. I gave you the opportunity to choose your own Ifire. It was just a parting gift. What you decide is up to you. Shizu. If you could find time, I would like to speak with you after this. Leon. If you insist, but I suggest you tell your new Mazer to not waste too much time. As if on cue, Milam entered. Rimuru reserved a smile for Milam, though she seemed unresponsive. He could tell otherwise. Clayman followed behind holding a fox. Clayman. Stop walking so slow. Move, you dullard. As Clayman raised his hand to strike her, he suddenly felt as if his arm was severed. Clayman gasped and saw his arm still raised and still attached, as if it was a premonition of what would happen to him. Sweating, he scoffed and walked in front of her. Clayman. What was that? I didn't feel an ounce of intent to strike from Milam, was it? He looked at Rimuru, who glared back at him. Clayman. No, it can't be. It must be my imagination. He brushed up his clothing to save face. Clayman. Hello all, I appreciate you waiting for us. Seal. Master, try to be more mindful of your bloodlust. Rimuru. Sorry, couldn't help it. Shizu. I can understand why things must have gotten bad if you feel this protective of her. Rimuru. I can't stand to watch her be treated like garbage while we all watch. Meanwhile, Diablo and Testarossa were sitting in their carriages looking over boxes filled with 3 indecipherable lumps of flesh. Diablo. My goodness, Miss Sheehan dumped quite a mess in our laps. Testarossa. Restraint and moderation don't seem to be her strong points. They both attempted healing magic to no avail. Diablo. What a hassle. It seems even healing magic doesn't affect them in this state. I've never seen anything like it. What sort of skill bends all the rules to this extent? Testarossa. I'd even go so far as to say it's impressive. Diablo. This will require drastic measures. Do try to endure it. The screams could be heard from outside their carriage as they worked. That doesn't sound good. You think they're gonna make it to Falmouth in one piece? Grucius. Not sure you can say they're in one piece to begin with. Still I don't they have it as bad as those 3 other worlders Lady Azrael brought along. I know she calls it training, but even Master Hakuro wasn't that cruel. On their left they could hear crashing inside that carriage. Azrael increased the space of the carriage so she could continue training. The other worlder's Kyoya was seen crashing into a wall with his sword. Azrael, completely unacceptable. You just flail around that metal stick of yours with intent and your unique skills rather than technique. You'll never beat even a third-rate swordsman like that in you. She was standing over Shogo with her shoe on his face. Azrael, I've had more force thrown at me when I'm playing with the children of Tempest, she said as she sunk his head deeper into the ground with her foot. She glared at a sweaty, exhausted, crying, drooling, and bleeding Azrael. And worst of all, your persuasion and charm and your skills are pathetic. I wouldn't even keep you as a sex slave for my master. She walked off of Shogo and stood in the middle of the room as she licked her lips, recovering them physically but not mentally. Azrael, again, and don't get sloppy this time. Always remember I've killed you before and I'll kill you again if I see fit to. Back at Yume's carriage. Yume, Lady Azrael can be quite scary. Grucius, you can say that again. Mayulan, I believe she's in a bad mood due to Lord Rimuru choosing to take Seal with him to Walpurgis and not her. Grucius, Lady Seal was pretty smug about. Yume, screams surround us on both sides. This is gonna be a long ride. Back at Walpurgis. Rain, I will now introduce the participants of tonight's meeting. The demon known as the Lord of Darkness Guy Crimson, Fairy of the Labyrinth Romulus, Dragonoid the Destroyer Milam Nava, Giant the Earthquake Dagrul, Vampire the Bloody Lord Roy Valentine, Fallen the Sleeping Ruler Dino, Harpy the Sky Queen Frey, Deathman the Marionette Master Clayman, Demoniad the Platinum Saber Leon Cromwell, and finally. She stared at Rimuru for a moment, unable to identify his race. Rain, the boy of the forest demon Lord Rimuru Tempest. This concludes the introductions. Clayman set down his fox and stood up. Clayman, I'd like to start by thanking you all for coming to my summons. I am truly humbled by your presence here tonight. Alright, shall we begin? Then without further ado, it is my tremendous honor to declare the commencement of the Demon Lord Banquet Walpurgis. Rimuru put his fist on his face and sighed like a student attending a boring lecture as Clayman went on a long speech. Relatively similar to the one you know, except he even went on to say Rimuru seduced and manipulated Milam into destroying Eurozania once he was done using Carrion, but he not being able to sit back and watch brought her out of her ignorance. Rimuru, it's like I'm back in high school. Is he ever gonna be done already? I'm starting to envy Dino right now. Clayman, I'm certain that you all understand the situation. It's clear that this petty Majin known as Rimuru is a degenerate fool who gives demon lords a bad name. It would be in our best interests to purge him. That concludes my case. Rain, next on the docket our guest will give us their own explanation. Rimuru, thank you, but that hardly seems necessary. Clayman, so you admit your crimes, then at least you can accept your fate with grace if nothing else. Rimuru, I never said that. I just mean someone like you is in no way worth arguing with. Clayman, excuse me. Rimuru, you're excused. I'm honestly surprised this was the best plan you could execute, but tell me honestly, what did you think was going to happen? You would explain how you got your feelings hurt, things that may or may not have happened, and get someone else to do your dirty work while you watch like a child hiding behind their mother's skirt. Please, we're not heroes who make everyone's problems ours. We're demon lords. If there's a problem between us, there's no need to waste everyone else's time like you have. Clayman, how dare why? Rimuru, hey Guy, if I prove my excess superiority to Clayman in front of everyone here, then it should prove very clearly that I belong here, right? Guy, of course, fortunately for you, you're surrounded by a room of witnesses. If you can manage to defeat Clayman in front of all of us, we will recognize you as a true demon lord. Clayman, fine then, Milam, that's your cue. Milam stood up in an almost robotic manner. Seal, oh look, master, Milam is under the influence of that dastardly Clayman. Rimuru, Seal, please don't do this right now. Seal, would you like me to find the source of this powerful mind control and free her from the mental shackles that bind her? Rimuru, Seal, surely you know more than your omniscient partner. Rimuru took a deep breath. Rimuru, Seal, I deeply apologize for not trusting your wisdom, knowledge and understanding in the past, and I will take your advice more seriously. Seal smiled ever so smugly. Shizu, I feel as if I'm missing some context. Rimuru, don't worry about it. Seal smirked. Seal, I'll tell you later. Rimuru, don't, let's just focus on the task at hand. I'll make sure to free Kumara first and foremost. Seal, I shall occupy Milam. Rimuru, everything else shouldn't be a problem. I hope I can leave it to you. I'll join you once I'm done. Shizu, of course. Rimuru walked up to the nine-head. It growled, but he seemed unfazed. He suddenly was in front of it. He placed his hand on its forehead and dispelled the control Clayman had over her. Rimuru, it's all right, you're safe now. His voice was firm yet comforting to the fox. Meanwhile, Rimuru turned to see that Shizu already disposed of Clayman's puppet and Clayman was next. Shizu, come now, surely you have more to offer on the battlefield. She taunted as she raised her sword to him. Clayman, stupid Majin Dai. As he raised his hands, they instantly were cut off as Shizu was behind him. Shizu, I'm no Majin. As she sheathed her sword, a slash of his blood sprayed out of several parts of his body. Rimuru, I'd say we're done here. Clayman, it can't be, impossible. I mean, you're just a weakling, nothing more than a pathetic little Majin. I can't lose, I'm the Demon Lord Clayman. Shizu raised her sword to Clayman's head. Shizu, should I finish him or would you prefer to? Clayman, no, damn it all, where is Milam? What the hell is she doing? I command you to decimate this rabble. Rimuru, I think she's busy right now. Milam and Seal were clashing. Seal evaded her attacks and struck with precision and grace. Rimuru, I didn't expect Seal to be having fun. Clayman, Frey, what are you doing? Come and assist me at once. Frey, me, I do apologize, but none can pass through this barrier without Guy's consent. Seems my hands are tied. Clayman, Milam, listen to me, obey my command and use your stampede defense. I don't care anymore, just kill every single person here. Milam, why in the world would I do something so ridiculous? Clayman was flabbergasted. Milam, even if I wanted to, what would be the point? That's nowhere near enough to hurt Big Brother. Rimuru, impressive acting. Milam, I almost thought you were a puppet for a second there. Milam flew down to Rimuru and hugged him from behind. Milam, oh please, I know I couldn't fool you even if you didn't know. Seal closed her eyes and smiled as if holding back a chuckle. Rimuru, not a word, Seal. Seal tossed a crumpled paper at him. He caught it and opened it up. It said, a word. Rimuru, you're so petty. Rimuru burnt the paper. Rimuru, in any case, you've played right into our hands. Every move you made was already predetermined. We never killed Carrion or even truly destroyed Eurozania. It was all just to get to this precise moment. Looks like the Marionette Master now knows how it feels to be played, but I'm afraid the show's over. Clayman, no, this is absurd. This isn't possible. You're just a weakling. Rimuru, am I now? You think I'm weak? Do you? Fine then. Rimuru snapped his fingers. Clayman was healed. Not only that, he felt an extreme surge of power. Rimuru, your body has been healed to perfection. It's more powerful than it ever was, so go ahead, attack me. Clayman, aha, you fool, is your pride that important to you? Fine then, you die now. Clayman, what was that? There was that premonition again. Did I dream it? No, it can't be. Clayman couldn't act on instinct, and he couldn't move no matter what he did or thought to do. All he foresaw was death after death after death. Rimuru, do you finally get it? Clayman, your body is warning you to not attack me, to not challenge me, to not do anything that would displease me, because all your heightened instincts tell you all that awaits you is a painful, excruciating death for challenging me. Rimuru, there is nothing you will do, because there's nothing you can do but hope against hope that I don't strike you down. Clayman, no, that's impossible. I am the Demon Lord. Clayman, I will not. Rimuru, bow. Clayman fell to the floor on his shoulders and elbows on the floor. Rimuru, you may want to resist, but your body knows better than to follow your mind, because it knows that it's out of its league. Rimuru slowly but surely released bits of his aura and directed it at Clayman. Rimuru, understand this clearly. The moment you chose hostility towards me, your life became meaningless. You stand against something carved from suffering you cannot comprehend, and that suffering has forged the end that now stands before you. Clayman was too terrified to speak, move, or even think, utterly broken by the sheer presence and finality in Rimuru's words. Seeing his state, Rimuru casually tossed a blade so it landed near Clayman's feet. Rimuru, Clayman, he said, his voice cold and devoid of any lingering anger, only absolute dismissal. Rimuru, save me the trouble and kill yourself. With that pronouncement, Rimuru turned to walk away, his posture radiating utter disinterest, as if Clayman's continued existence was a trivial matter already concluded. Frozen by terror yet inescapably drawn by the command embedded within that overwhelming aura, Clayman slowly, robotically, reached for the offered blade. His hand trembled uncontrollably. As he grasped the hilt and, with a final, vacant look, plunged it into his own body, instantly, a dark void erupted at the point of impact, rapidly expanding and swallowing Clayman's form completely, leaving absolutely nothing behind. Guy, well done, he said with a slow clap. Guy, from this day forward you are officially acknowledged as a demon lord. Are there any who would object? Ramirez, Way to go, I knew you could do it, Rimuru. If you want I can consider letting you be my new disciple. Rimuru. Hard pass. Seal. Ramirez, I'll have to insist you cease wasting my master's time with your jokes. Ramirez. Come on Seal, you don't have to be so mean, we're basically sisters after everything we've been through. Seal. I already have one daily nuisance and I don't need another. Milam. Big brother's too busy having fun with me so he doesn't wanna be friends with you. Ramirez. Really Milam's lying right. Rimuru. I mean I always make room for allies and friends and we are both after everything we've already been through. Ramirez. Ha see. Milam. It doesn't change the fact that big brother likes me more. Ramirez. Are you trying to pick a fight with me? Shizu. It's nice to know her new form hasn't changed her personality much. Seal. Different form same brat. Dino. It's alright by me. Leon. Well personally I don't care who becomes a demon lord, he can do as he likes. Roy. Please, I disagree. In my opinion, letting someone like him become a demon lord is insulting. Rimuru. Is that really what you think, Lumi? Or has your servant let his personal feelings intrude on the matter? Luminous. What are you talking about? I am merely a humble maid serving Demon Lord Valentine. Rimuru. Cute as that outfit is on you, you're not fooling anyone. You should keep your magic more under control if you want to pass as a servant, or maybe you like being seen as a maid. Tilda. Luminous. It seems you're just as irksome as the last time we met, like that dragon you shelter. You've mastered the art of being irritating, haven't you? Now then you address me as Valentine, understand? Rimuru. I like Lumi better, don't tell me you're still mad about that night. Luminous. What you took is more precious than you can ever imagine. Where is it? Answer me now. Rimuru. It's back where it belongs. Rimuru brushed his nails against his arm. Rimuru. If you're really that frustrated without it, I could always. Luminous grabbed his wrist before his nails could pierce his flesh. Luminous. Not another word. A more serious atmosphere seemed to resonate between them. Rimuru. I wouldn't put you out like this, but I'm not too happy about that pathetic attempt on my life by you know who. You should keep what's yours under control. Luminous. I may despise you, but I told her to do no such thing and I won't let you torment her further. Rimuru. Well then how about you keep what's yours under control and I can promise I won't do that again and we can talk more about giving back what I took from you. I'd really rather us not be enemies. They stared into each other's eyes for a moment before she let his hand go. Luminous. Fine, leave us, Roy, you may precede me in returning. Roy. My lady, I would prefer to not leave you with. Luminous. I'm not repeating myself. She seemed to have no patience remaining. Roy accepted his orders and left, and the meeting continued with Frey stepping down to serve Milam and Carrion following him. Milam. But wait, big brother fought alongside me. If anything you should be serving him. Rimuru. Technicalities aside, I didn't destroy anything, Milam. In fact, what I did to Eurozania should already be restored by now, but don't worry, I think it'll be good for you to have closer subordinates. Trust me, it'll be fun. Milam. But, Carrion. Well, there you have it, you don't want to argue with him of all people. Milam threw a bit of a tantrum. As she conceded. Milam. Okay fine, you two can do whatever you want to, I don't care anymore. Guy. Fine then, as of right now Frey and Carrion are no longer demon lords. Per your requests you are now free to serve Milam however you like. Rimuru. Glad that's settled, but I think we need a new name since 10 great demon lords is now redundant and inaccurate. If it's alright, I'd like to suggest the name Octogram for the 8-pointed star. Everyone agreed on it. Rimuru. So I think we're pretty much done here, right? Guy. Not so fast, I'm a bit curious about you, Rimuru. Rimuru. What do you mean by that? Guy. As far as our reports show, you've been around for a bit over 2 years. You've had no noticeable growth. Not just anyone can return Ramirez to her true form and defeat Milam in combat going all out, so it makes me a bit curious about who, or rather what, exactly are you? Rimuru. I almost forgot. Milam blurted that part out. Well, she kept it secret long enough, I guess. Guy. Well, Rimuru. I think we're all entitled to our own secrets, don't you agree? Guy stared into Rimuru's eyes as he did the same. Guy. Right, I suppose that's fair enough. I just hope you won't be a threat to the balance I've been so desperately trying to keep is all. Rimuru. I don't think you have much to worry about. They both said with smiles and closed eyes. Still a bit of hostility could be noticed by everyone in the room. Rimuru. Sorry Guy, but I'm afraid I'm just getting started. To be continued.